Release Party. I'm Allison Rickard. I'm the development director here at In These Times. In These Times is the premier magazine focused on social and economic justice issues, and we are committed, frankly, and we think it's our responsibility to cover women's sort of fight for dignity in the workplace. Today's discussion jumps off of two recent In These Times articles. One by Jessica Stites, our executive editor, an interview with Ai-Jen Hu of the National Domestic Workers Alliance, and another by Bryce Covert. She wrote for the Working In These Times blog about the campaign that Teresa and Balbina are sort of fighting against their workplace, the Villa Italian kitchen in Lincolnwood, fighting sexual harassment there. So would you please join me in thanking Arise Chicago and the worker leaders who are here to tell their story? Thank you for being here. I really appreciate the powerful women up at this table. And if you haven't read those two articles, by the way, you can get them at the very front where you walked in. We've got the March issue and some photocopies of that blog article that was online. With that, I'm going to hand it over to Jessica Stites, executive editor, to do some introductions. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Hi, everyone. It is my pleasure to introduce the worker leaders who are here with us tonight. I've been so excited to see immigrant women working in the service economy, stepping forward and really starting to lead this Me Too movement and speak out against sexual harassment. So let me tell you who's here tonight. We've got Małgorzata Pinska, a home cleaner who's been with Arise Chicago as a worker leader for many, many years and helped pass in Illinois the Illinois Domestic Workers Bill of Rights, which passed in 2016. So as many of you probably know, domestic workers were historically, for racist and sexist reasons, excluded from basic labor protections on the job, and Arise and the National Domestic Workers United have been at the forefront of changing that state by state, and Illinois has led the way in having basic protections like minimum wage for domestic workers. So thank you, Małgorzata, for helping make that happen. And then skipping over here, at the end of the table, we have our two other worker leaders, who are mother and daughter, Teresa and Balbina. So Teresa Alcevedo and Balbina Ortiz both work at the Villa Fresh Italian kitchen, or worked there. Balbina worked there for about a year, and Teresa came and was working there for a couple months when one of Teresa's coworkers was promoted to assistant manager and began abusing his power over the women who were his former coworkers. He would, for example, when they got to work, demand that as they clocked into their shift, they would hug and kiss him, and along with other abusive behavior that they can tell us about. And Teresa and Balbina led the way together in reporting him to HR and to the district manager. Unfortunately, the result of that was complete silence from both HR and the district manager, and then Balbina's hours were reduced from full-time to 2 days a week, and Teresa was fired. But they didn't give up, and they are still fighting and active and out there to turn Villa Fresh into a safe workplace for women workers, to get justice, and to get Balbina's hours brought back. So congratulations. And also with us tonight, we have two of Arise Chicago's organizers who are going to help with translation and have also been out there fighting these fights. We have Carolyn Morales. She's Arise's workplace justice campaigns organizer, and she's been supporting Balbina and Teresa, and she's worked with other women fighting against sexual harassment on the job. And we have Anya Jacobak, who Arise Chicago's domestic worker organizer, originally from Poland, came here working as an au pair and became an organizer, and it's been 7 years with Arise. And she also helped get the Illinois Domestic Workers Bill of Rights passed. All right, so I'm going to be asking questions of the worker leaders, and these guys will be translating, and they may jump in with some of their own observations as well. First of all, I talked a little about the experiences you've had in the workplace, so particularly for Balbina and Teresa, can you tell us why you came forward, why you chose to speak out, and sort of any fears around that, or sort of what your calculations were when you did that?
Mi nombre es Teresa y yo estoy luchando por la justicia para mí, por ser mujer y que me hicieron lo que es acoso sexual y yo no me quedé callada, lo cual, yo no me dio miedo.
Hello, my name is Teresa Alcevedo, and I'm fighting because as women, we need to stand up for our rights. And for me, I wasn't scared because suffering sexual harassment was not right in the workplace.
Mi nombre es Balbina Ortiz y lo que puedo comentar es que pues cuando pasó eso con mi hija de acoso sexual y todo eso, la persona encargada tomó mucha represalia contra mí. A ella la quitó del sketch rotundamente sin dar ninguna explicación y a mí pues me quitó mis días dejándome nada más 2. Cosa que pues yo pienso que era injusto lo que estaba haciendo, y por reclamarle él no me hizo abuso sexualmente tocándome ni nada de eso, pero verbalmente sí me insultó demasiado.
My name is Balbina Ortiz, and I'm fighting when I saw my daughter was being harassed in the workplace, and we stood up and said no. It resulted in her being removed from the schedule without any explanation given, and my hours were reduced to only 2 days. And I don't remember the last thing. Se me olvidó la última cosa que dijo, disculpe. Oh, I was not physically harmed by this person, but or physically touched, but I was insulted verbally by this person.
And for all of you, I'm curious, what do you think about the Me Too movement? Was that a part of what made you feel comfortable coming forward, and do you see it kind of touching the lives of other immigrant women?
So, yo no sabía que existía Me Too. Yo me sentía, no miedo, pero yo me sentía como que acorralada, nadie me va a ayudar.
So I actually didn't know about the Me Too movement when this was happening. When this was happening, I thought that no one would ever believe me.
Pero cuando acudí a Aires Chicago,
and when I found Arise Chicago, I learned not only about the Me Too movement, but also that what I was doing was correct, and that I was fighting back in the process I was taking. And it gave me a lot of courage, and I thought, you know what, I'm doing this not just for me, but for all women, that this is something that's touching all of our lives, not just in our workplace.
Porque acudía al proceso legal en el cual se está llevando mucho tiempo y no hay reacción de nada.
So I first started through the bureaucratic process, right? And it takes a really long time, and nothing has happened from that.
Y pues ahora yo siento que no termina aquí, yo tengo que seguir luchando por mí y por las que vienen detrás, o por las que estamos calladas que no quieren hablar por miedo.
But now it's different. Now I think I need to fight not only for myself, but for other people who are behind me, or people who are too afraid to speak up for themselves.
Switch over, Małgorzata. Have you seen the Me Too movement impacting the domestic worker community?
Wydaje mi się, że tak, ze względu na to, że pracownicy domowi pracując tak jak
Yes, I think it has a impact in a way that taking under consideration the specifics of the job as a domestic worker, and an example could be mine, me cleaning somebody's houses, working in isolation. Certain things are very specific. We working in somebody else's house. So having this knowledge that the Me Too exists in a way, we can find out the way to feel safer and reach out if we have the need.
no, na pewno jeżeli będziemy na ten temat mówić, będziemy cały czas w jakiś sposób mówić o molestowaniu.
The fact that we are talking about it and this is more public will help the other women to open up and step up to talk about their isolated problem and finally feel the way that they have a place to go.
And this is a question for everyone. Women who experience these things in the workplace, what options do you think are realistically available to them right now? What are the real things they can do?
With the knowledge that I have right now,
ayudarla, apoyarla, que no esté
to help them,
callada.
to support them and tell them don't stay quiet.
Y darle la confianza como me la brindaron a mí, yo brindársela a esa persona.
And the confidence that I have grown, I would give that to another person.
Y que existan más, se puede decir, reglas o folletos que cubran a la mujer en los trabajos, como en estas empresas que son grandes, compañías grandes.
And that there are more rules and regulations that cover a lot of employers, especially like depending on the size of the employer.
Y en el cual que exista el reglamento y yo apoyarla. Si está en mis manos ayudarla, como me están ayudando a mí, ayudarlas a ellas.
If it were in my hands and I were able to help them the way that I'm being helped, I would do it.
Pues hacerle una invitación a todas a que no nos quedemos calladas,
I give an invitation to all women that we don't remain silent.
que si ya dimos este paso, que también las demás la den, que no se queden calladas,
That if we
que
all
sean
take this
fuertes.
step to be
Yo
strong.
sé que el miedo va a estar ahí, pero con el apoyo de Me Too nos da más motivo a seguir adelante, llegar hasta el final.
I know that there's always going to be the fear, of course, but with this movement, this Me Too moment, that people can take action and that we can actually fight and we can win. It will go to the end and we can win.
Mi się wydaje też, że jeżeli będzie większe rozpowszechnienie tej sytuacji,
As I mentioned before, I feel like there will be more women coming with this issue, and I feel like place like Ortiz could definitely help them and put them in the right track to figure it out what to do in such a situation.
Pues el consejo sería no quedarse callada. Actualmente en las compañías
My advice would be this, is that you keep talking and keep discussing it. Nowadays, there really isn't any support within the workplace, right, for these issues. What I have seen, at least in my language and in many people in my community, especially women, are really quiet and fearful for taking action, and they don't want to speak up. But the type of person I am, I do speak up and I do fight. And so I think the best piece of advice is to just start having those conversations.
yo más que nada lo exhorto a que toda mujer, sea de aquí o sea de donde sea,
What I would say, I would plead, I would beg for women whether they're from here or whether they're from any other place, is that we just keep fighting. We have to remember we are all equal. We all have the same worth. We need to fight together and recognize that we all have the same power that they do, the men. Way to say. I have not had personal experience of organizing coworkers around this issue recently, but I would say just from an organizing perspective, talking about it is really important, just like Balbina had mentioned, just like Teresa had mentioned. As well as documenting anything you can. Knowing your rights is really important and who to trust. I think many times nowadays people go to human resources with the hope that something will be investigated and resolved, and they think it's a confidential place to go. The reality is for most workers that is not the case. HR is created by the company and paid for by the company to keep out problems and troublemakers. And so I think that there are ways outside that you can, by knowing your rights and what action steps you can take to improve the workplace that everyone feels safe and respected. There are organizations that assist with this. Just jumping to the question that you had said, what's realistically available, I think it's a really sound question because I think politicians will say like, oh, well, you can file here and you can file there and there's a private right of action. But as these women have shown in their fight, that takes years to resolve, right? It's someone else's hands, and that's exactly what the company wants you to do. So they can hide behind their lawyers and prolong and prolong and prolong. And meanwhile, 2 years later, you might get something, but you absolutely can't talk about it because there's always a confidentiality. So I think what we're really trying to do at Arise is say we don't have to, and we shouldn't have to rely on the legal system to ensure basic security and respect in the workplace. This is something that's not only written in law, but is a human right, and it's part of creating a dignified workplace. So I think organizing is the right way to go. So the person who asked the question. And I also want to say too, like, not just talk about it, but also talk to the men or people who might not be experiencing sexual harassment. We have had many men come to Arise Chicago and say, it's not happening to me, but I see it happening to my coworkers and they're too afraid, what should I do? There are allies all around us, and it impacts the workplace for everyone. To see it happening to someone else makes you feel powerless too. So I think just starting those conversations, documenting things, and doing everything in groups is the way to go.